Hey, welcome to Including You Journals. My name is Cynthia. I'm glad to have you with me today. We are working on a start to finish journal that I made from a cereal box. So if you go back a few days, you can see how I put glued material and sewed it on around a cereal box and have created a 3-signature junk journal. It's so simple. You can do this. If you are getting started in junk journaling, it is a very fun craft and utilizes all kinds of papers that we have on hand. For one, we are working today with old library card cards that I happened upon, and I'm going to utilize those in the journal. And you can see one that I've already done. I've created a little tuck spot by gluing it here and here on a page, and I will just simply put, and you're going to see me pull the guest check that we did in the last session. That guest check I thought was too small where I had put it. So now I'm going to pull it out and create tuck spots for the guest checks to go in. These are a little bit shorter, and it allows me to see what's behind that little tuck spot that I have. I could glue this on the third side and actually have a pocket. A lot of ladies and gentlemen do that. That's okay. I tend to just make tucks because it's easy. It still holds my paper or my card, and I can get it in and out easily. So I just tend to glue on two sides. Let's make a couple of these pockets or tuck spots for our journal. Laying that aside, I'm going to pull in 3 cards, and I like the one that had a little color in there with the red along the top. I think I don't want to work on more than 2 at a time. I already have 1 in the journal, and I'm only going to use 3, probably 1 per signature that's there. And I want to use some green paper and maybe some straw paper. Now these are I ordered from Rachel at Roxy Creations, some Italian paper she sent in a packet for me. It was a very cheap packet, around 15 bucks, and I can't tell you how many Italian papers. But I got all kinds of cool Italian colors, and then she's thrown in some fun things like a old dictionary page or old book page, and then some art paper, very thin. It's wonderful. I love this. And then the straw paper I also like a whole lot. So I'm so thrilled to have that. And I'm going to be using that to help work on a background a little bit here. And because I'm doing 2, I am going to work on 2 spaces at a time. I'm allowing this straight edge to dictate where I put it. I could put my paper here or at the bottom. I could also turn it over here, and I see that I have a straight edge down here at the bottom a little in here. I can tear that. I don't have to let that or choose to let that dictate to me where I stick my paper, but I'm going to. It's easier for me. So I tend to tear from the side where I can actually pull part of that through. And I think I'm going to use this side as well. And then I would like a little bit of the straw paper. Let's see what I can come up with here. I think we'll do that to run it across the card before we choose something else. I have in front of me a Yoo-Hoo glue stick, so that's what I'm going to choose to use to glue my papers down. Let me make sure that I am on screen. I'm going to leave these here where you can see them, but also let you see what I'm doing. And because I used an old library catalog card, this is nice and thick, excuse me. This is nice and thick, so I did not make more layers or put anything on the back of it. When I turn it over, you can see that I can write on it if it is a journal card, but this is going to be a pocket, so it will be a nice sturdy pocket. And I do want to put this green under the gold. It's a little bit cloudy this afternoon, a little bit drizzly. I am videotaping ahead of time but I hope your January is going well, that you've had a great start to your new year in this first month of the year, that life is going well and that you're in good health. Things are moving right along, and I see that there's a little, I can't tell if that's two colors or one side tends to be a little more matte where it's not necessarily shiny, but there's a little bit difference to that. That looks a little more olivey. I'm going to turn them over and use both sides the same. And since I'm just pivoting on that side there, it doesn't matter if I use the more shiny side or the more solid side. And you can see two entirely different looking pockets that I can actually use. Now on one of these pockets, I was thinking about using, it's just a little wooden cutout of a, I think it's, I'm trying to decide where I can see it better, if I can see it better there or on the grain, and I really think I like it, even though that's a lighter color. Let me stand up and see what it looks like in the camera. Oh yeah, I think it stands out a little bit better on this card than it does on this one, so we'll save it for here. I'm going to use the Art Glitter Glue. I actually found this at the Dollar Tree in that art section, and there were maybe 6 of these little wooden cutouts in a packet. 4 were of other birds and 2 were hummingbirds, and I grabbed it up thinking, I might use one of these on the front, and then it's not too thick, so I think I might try to use one here on a pocket. I like the texture. I like the 3D effect that it gives. It comes up off the paper a little bit more than just something flat. And maybe it won't be too thick to use in my actual journal. We're going to hope for that anyway. All right, maybe some kind of a flower. Doesn't have to be that yellow just sort of falls away on that background. Orange flower, orange butterfly doesn't have to happen. I could use an orange flower here. I think that's exactly what I'll do. While I have my Art Glitter Glue handy, I'll go ahead and put him down. Art Glitter Glue works great paper to paper, also works great wood to paper, or this little chipboard to paper. It also works very well with fabric to paper. Sometimes use it as well. Okay. And I'm thinking, since this is going to be a pocket, I might like a that green has made it almost impossible to see. Let's see what we have here that we can brighten it up with. This is an old page from, I want to say 1930s. I think it was after that, though, of shorthand that I found. And I picked this page because it had this little flourish on it. And I thought, oh, I might use that. So let's try it. And I see I'm tearing 2 pages at one time. I'm sorry I did that to that poor book. Let's see if I could do that a little bit here. I don't know if it's going to help me see a hummingbird. And I have too much green there on that. I'll have to save that hummingbird for another area. But I do like the flourish. Pretty little design there. That's nice. And oh man, I just hit the, I'm so sorry I did that. Just hit the camera. I apologize. That makes me nuts when that happens when I'm watching someone. Sometimes it can almost make you a little sick, so I do apologize. But I'm using a little label now. And I think I want it over here. And I'm reaching off screen for a little Tim Holtz label. And if you've seen any of my videos, you know I love round labels, oval labels. My eye, for some reason, goes to those before it even goes to the square rectangular ones. And I really enjoy using those. Okay, let's find a place now to put these into our journal. Let me stand up here. I don't take any rhyme or reason. I have seen ladies go from signature to signature and try to figure out the front and the back. That's perfectly fine. If you want to do that, all I'm doing is I have one signature here. I'm going to find a place in this signature to put one. Since I'm not going to be writing on this page or this page, I think they would be great to have a pocket or a tuck. Now, I'm going to glue here and here. So I put my hand on the two sides where I'm not going to be gluing down. This little girl forgets where she's gluing, and that's just a good rule of thumb to do that. It'll cause you from making that mistake. Okay. And I've laid my guest check somewhere just out of reach. Sorry about that. I was going to put one in there, but for right now, I will put a card. You can see the guest check in there at a later time, but you see now that you have plenty of room there for the card, whatever journaling card you're using. And now I want to go to the final signature and find a page. Oh, look at it. I think so. Lots of flowers for a hummingbird to enjoy. Again, no glue here and here. Coming to the edge of the page. I have seen some crafters bring their card pockets or tucks into the inside and instead of going to the outside. For example, where I have here, instead of putting it on this edge, I've seen them bring it here or glue from here to here where you can put something in from the side. I tend to think that there's nothing wrong with that. Again, to each his own. I just tend to think that this keeps my card or paper in my journal. If I have it glued on this side, it's not slipping out. So you will see me tend to always, if I have a pocket, to glue this side here and here, or if I'm using a tuck, I'll glue on the outer edge and the bottom edge. It's just my way of doing things. All right, so now, I don't think that's too thick either. That looks like it's going to be just fine there. One, and not sure I can find it again for the camera, naturally. And here's my second one, and then there was a third one in there, and here was the guest check that we actually put in it. I hope you enjoyed crafting with me today. Thank you for joining me. I hope you'll come again. Have a great week or weekend, wherever you're finding this video, and see you in the next go-round. Bye.